It started with a step followed by a trot. We learned to gallop. Then it got mechanical. At first, it was to survive. It was all about the destination, but that changed when the journey started to get fun. I'm Greg White. That's my buddy Julian Taylor. We've mastered travel by land, air, and sea. For us, it's not always about where you go. It's how you get there. Today on It's How You Get There, we're headed to Chuckwalla Valley Raceway, where Julian and I will put the rubber to the road and kick up some dust trails. First, we'll get a chance to jump on 2 high-powered motorcycles. Then we'll compare a duo of distinctly different Dodge muscle cars. We're gonna put the pedal to the metal and see what these babies can do. We've been traveling the country in a pair of awesome RVs, and Julian's starting to get way too comfortable. Julian, are you kidding me, dude? What are you doing in the RV?
Oh, mate, this is the dog's danglies.
I don't even know what that means, man.
I'm traveling all over the country like this from now on. Just get in, you got your TV, I've got a fireplace, I can wash my clothes, I can cook my dinner. It's fantastic.
Great.
I love this lifestyle.
That's awesome. So I created an RV monster. Look, man, the thing is, we got to go to Desert Center, California, which means we got hours ahead of us, which means you got to get out of that chair and get behind the wheel. We got to roll, man.
Hey, mate, a couple of days it'll take us to get there, put our feet up. It's fantastic.
We're going to the racetrack. We got cars, we got motorcycles, we got a lot to do. Let's go. Get up and let's go.
You got to enjoy life, mate. That's what this RVing world was all about. You taught me nicely.
I know you're enjoying the RV lifestyle, but you got to put a little bit of gas into life and a little less brakes. You understand what I'm saying?
That's the best thing about it. I'm going to be nice and calm. So when I get to the track, I'll be like, poof, right on it.
Put the map down, we know where we're going. Get out of that chair and let's get going. This time to go cross country in RVs, it was Julian's idea. Usually I come up with those kinds of ideas, but he shocked me in that one.
I don't know why he threw his rattle out the pram when he realized I wanted to RV right across the country. It's the perfect way to get there.
We have a long trip ahead of us. I think this relaxed Julian is gonna drive me crazy. You better not drive relaxed.
My prescription to Greg is to relax for 2 days in an RV all the way to Chuckwalla Raceway. Traveling in a recreational vehicle can really spice up a trip, and my favorite part is the variety of food along the way. Greg's not going to like it, but my stomach is already starting to rumble.
15 minutes in the RVs, Julian says, I'm hungry, let's go eat.
I can feel his whinging and moaning already because we've got to stop 20 minutes out of town. These trips are all about new stuff, and Greg's never been to Pizza Ranch before, so we've got to stop. I know he's going to love this pizza when he tastes it.
Welcome to Pizza Ranch, gentlemen. How are we doing today?
Fantastic. My friend has never been here before, and he's a bit of a fussy pizza guy, so can we make him a gourmet one?
Yes. It's called a buffet your way. We'll make that pizza designed for what you want, but most people do the buffet, and the buffet consists of 9 different pizzas. We have a full salad bar with 2 soups. Over on the far side there, we have fried chicken, mashed potatoes and gravy, 3 vegetables.
Fried chicken?
You didn't tell me that. Fried chicken.
Hey, and that's not it. We got 5 dessert pizzas.
Oh, please,
and
really?
Ice cream.
Could I get extra cheese, pepperoni, and bacon?
We have 3 different kinds of crust. Thin crust, hand-tossed, and a skillet crust.
You like skillet, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hand-tossed.
Hand-tossed.
Yeah, for sure.
Lon will take you to your seats, guys.
Thanks, John.
Thanks for coming.
When we showed up, they mentioned pizza, of course. It's in the name. Then they said fried chicken. I'm from the South. I love fried chicken. Man, this food is so
love this
good.
pizza.
Can't wait till my pizza.
Hi guys, I've got a request pizza here
That
for
was
you.
quick.
Can I get one of my own, please?
Sure, what would you like on it?
Can I have bangers and mash?
What? Bangers and mash.
Mashed potatoes and sausage on a pizza? Coming right up.
Oh, you know that. Okay,
Excellent.
all right.
Some gravy on the top, lovely.
Julian ordered bangers and mash, and they made it for him. Oh, man, that's sausage and what else?
It's bangers and mash.
Yeah.
Sausage, mashed potato, and some gravy.
You think the boys down at the pub are happy that you're eating it in pizza form?
Oh, with a pint as well, it'd be even better. The Queen and the Royals would have been really proud of that creation.
Man, I am stuffed.
Are you giving me some credit, finally?
No credit to you. All the credit to Pizza Ranch, though.
You know there's a load of them on our route.
What do you say we get some takeout here and we can load up the RVs? That way we don't have to stop at every one you see.
That sounds like a plan.
All right, well, let's do that, man. Let's get back on the road because we got a long way to go.
Greg will never give me a compliment on anything, even the Pizza Ranch. He loved it, and he still won't compliment me on it. He's a pizza monster. I'm glad we're getting back on the road because there are 2 souped-up muscle cars and 2 crazy fast motorcycles waiting for us at Chuckwalla, and I'm itching to kick up some of that California dust. With a long road ahead of us and the convenience of the RVs, you'd think that the trip would be a straight shot, but Julian had other plans.
He stopped in almost every state to get a fresh pizza refill. He got pepperoni in Iowa, Hawaiian in Nebraska, garlic cheese in Colorado. We even stopped at the state line for some fried chicken, then hightailed it down to Chuckwalla Valley Raceway in California.
So, Julian, what do you think about the Southwest scenery out here? It's totally different from a lot of the other stuff you've seen.
It's really quite unique.
And so pretty soon, you can kind of see up there on the right, there's a big cell tower. That's going to be the entrance to Chuckwalla Valley Raceway. There's a big drum, I guess. You'll see it with the name on it, and then we're just going to take a right and head on into the track.
I see it. Right hand coming up. Hey, mate, this place has changed loads since the last time I was here. It's built up a lot.
A lot more buildings. This place is to stay for those people that aren't RVing. There's a car school. I mean, this place is really blown up. Welcome back to Chuckwalla Valley Raceway.
Chuckwalla Valley Raceway is a very unique circuit out in the middle of Desert Center, California. It is 3 hours from LA in one direction and 3 hours in Phoenix in another direction, but it gives you a lot of variety as a racetrack. It's got some flat corners. It has corners that close up on the apex. You have elevation, you have a corner that's off camber, and the bowl. The bowl is one of the sickest things you ever can get into. It's got a lot of camber to it, which gives you great traction, and you rip around this thing at about 80 miles an hour for about 7 or 8 seconds. This track is so much fun. Anybody thinking about coming out to Chuckwalla Valley Raceway, whether it's in their car, their motorcycle, whatever, they'll really enjoy it. So here we are at Chuckwalla Valley Raceway, and this adventure continues, but this time on 2 wheels. You got a nice looking motorcycle there, buddy. What you got?
I do. I've got a Ducati Panigale 959 2017 model, one of the fastest twins ever created.
This motorcycle is a 2017 Suzuki GSX-R1000. Now, this motorcycle was a clean sheet motorcycle, which means they created it from the ground up from MotoGP technology. It was hotly anticipated in the leader class. It's brand new. It's really unproven. I'm looking forward to spinning some laps around this track.
You know, the great thing about these two bikes is the engine displacement size are similar, but this is a twin and this is an inline 4. I've got 955 cc's out of the 959 Ducati Panigale.
Right, and I have 999 cc's out of the GSX-R1000, but they're really designed in 2 different classes of motorcycle. This is going to be more of a middleweight sport bike, and this is going to be your leader bike. Going to be higher corner speeds for you, but where I'm going to excel is getting the bike on the meat of the tire and using what this bike is designed for, and that's acceleration out of a corner.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. They're very different motorcycles. No comparison between point A and point B. It's about the bikes themselves.
In the motorcycling community, there's something called track days, where you can actually take your motorcycle, get to this track day, and then divide yourself up in a group, and then go out and ride all day. But for us, pretty unique, because here at Chuckwalla Valley Raceway, it's just the 2 of us all day on the track.
Yeah, we're a little bit spoiled. The thing is with the track day, it's safety. You've got no cars, no trucks. And when you ride your bike to its limits, you need to be safe, but you need to know what you're doing. Corner control, apex control, track day's perfect for it.
And the other thing we've done is added Dunlop Q3 tires. Now, the Q3 Plus is a tire that you can actually put on, ride your motorcycle to the track, do an entire day on the track, and then ride the motorcycle home. It's really a fantastic tire. So, daylight's burning, let's get our helmets on and get out on the track.
Let's do it. Greg's got a lot of experience at Chuckwalla Raceway. He's actually been an instructor here, I believe, with Pridmore. My first time here was with Triumph, and I did it for a day or so I know the track, but I don't know it to the extent he knows it. So I'm going to actually hang on his coattails for a while and get some experience out of him.
Julian and I tend to be in competitions a lot, but this time it's going to be kind of like, hey, what's your bike like? Hey, what's your bike like? If I'm in front, though, I know Julian well enough to know that if I'm ahead of him, he's going to be pushing pretty hard to catch me. The good thing is I have a little bit more motor, a little bit more displacement than he has, so no matter how hard he pushes, he's not going to be able to reel me in. My experience with the new Suzuki GSX-R1000, it's pretty amazing. One of the things they were able to accomplish was taking MotoGP technology and putting it right into a street bike. They narrowed up the engine a little bit. The steering is more responsive. It's got a little bit more motor in terms of mid-range and horsepower, and it's got more revs to it as well. Couple all of that with throttle-by-wire electronics, traction control, launch control, wheelie control, all the great things, and it's absolutely awesome.
So the Ducati for me is, as I expected, a solid, planted
motorcycle. They always are. My favorite thing that the Ducati Panigale does the best is holds mid-corner. It's on rails. I'm getting to know the track. I'm getting to know where the corners are again. It's all coming back to me. And our lap times, even though we weren't controlling lap times and we weren't measuring them, I could tell they were getting faster and faster and faster. Your knee sliders are getting shredded.
The Q3, especially on the front, feels great. It gives you great feedback. It's very predictable. And the rear end is very typically Dunlop. It gives you great traction, and as the tire heats up, gives you a lot of predictability on the spin coming out, especially on the new GSX-R1000.
So this is my first time on the Dunlop Q3 Pluses. We got a couple of laps under our belt, started to scrub them in, then you could feel your lean angles getting a lot steeper, and then it started to wake up. You don't get a track to yourself every single day. To have the ability to take two really, really cool motorcycles out for the whole day, unbelievable.
Wow, what a day at Chuckwalla Valley Raceway on these motorcycles, man.
We're totally spoiled, having the racetrack to ourselves. What are we ever going to do when we have to go and do a track day with other people on the track?
You were enough traffic as it was, man. So tell me about your Ducati. What'd you think?
Oh, I'll tell you, mate, the 959 Panigale is an unbelievable machine. The upgrades with technology, the upgrades with the suspension, the motor, the way this bike fits into the category and the class that it's in is state-of-the-art. And then when I changed the power delivery from a mode perspective and went from sport to track, it became even more of a beast. Loved it. Fantastic machine.
No question. A Ducati, a Panigale specifically, lives at the racetrack. I mean, where it comes alive. Now, Suzuki has a 600 to 750 model in the GSX-R line. The new GSX-R1000 honestly feels like a GSX-R 750 on steroids with tons of electronics. It was a clean sheet of paper when they redesigned it using MotoGP technology. They've made it more compact, it was more flickable, and the power delivery went up. I mean, it's so impressive. I really love the way it turned the corners. Man, I'm gonna tell you, a day at Chuckwalla Valley Raceway with motorcycles, good friends, and RVing. Cheers to you, mate. Doesn't get any better than this, does it?
Beats a day in the office any day.
Cheers, mate.
Down the hatch.
Yesterday was an incredible experience at Chuckwalla Valley Raceway. Julian and I arrived by way of recreational vehicle, ran some laps on Ducati's Panigale 959 and Suzuki's GSX-R1000. Today promises to be another great day at the track.
Dude.
Good morning, sunshine.
What are you doing here,
I'm making
man?
breakfast. I've been up since dawn. That's what the RVing world does to you. Do you want some Tabasco? Do you want some salt and pepper?
No.
What do you want with your eggs?
What I want is you to get out of here. You know what you're turning into is RV Steve.
Are you a real bar humbug in the morning, aren't you?
Yeah. Come on now. What is up with that apron, bro? Oh my God. This RVing thing, you are out of your mind. I have to admit, I feel a little bad. The way I woke up and reacted to Julian in my kitchen, cooking me food. I mean, it was a nice gesture and everything. That and I could really use those eggs now. I'm actually kind of hungry.
Greg's going to regret refusing breakfast because we'll definitely need our energy for today. We've got two track-ready Dodge muscle cars that are ready and raring to go. We're going to push the limits and see what they're made of.
We're here now, Desert Center, California, at Chuckwalla Valley Raceway. And we have this racetrack to ourselves for the entire day. And we have two beautiful machines to cruise around this place.
We certainly do. We have some supercars at our fingertips. We've got a Dodge Hellcat SRT, Challenger, obviously, with a fantastic 707 horsepower engine in it. And we've got a Viper.
Yeah, the Viper, this is the ACR. So, I mean, this car is basically a race car that you can put a license plate on. It's packing an 8.4-liter V10, 685 horsepower, 600 foot-pounds of torque. And, of course, it's matched with those Kumho tires that are designed for it. This thing has a huge wing on the back. It's got a lot of downforce. That car is designed to make the most out of a racetrack like this.
And to make it fair, we've both got Kumho on deliberately so we can feel what the tires are like on this track. But the other side that's really cool that I'm excited about is we've got two very different transmissions here. We've got a 6-speed manual gearbox on the Viper, and we've got a Tiptronic automatic on the Hellcat.
So we're going from motorhomes directly to these crazy, crazy cars. You gonna be able to handle it?
Oh, no problems, mate. That's the best thing about this.
All right, look, which one do you want first?
I'll take the Hellcat.
Fine, I'll take the Viper, and then we'll switch later on.
Sounds like a plan.
Man, let's have some fun.
All right, mate, let's do it.
Let's do it. The Dodge Viper ACR is basically a race car for the street. No. Let me rephrase that. It's a race car that's allowed to go on the street. The Viper's engine, it sings a different song. It's got an 8.4-liter V10, and it's naturally aspirated. And when it's gulping all that atmosphere, man, it just puts it to the ground, and it has a nice, deep, throaty feel and sound to it. In the early days of the Dodge Viper, it was known to have a very nervous rear end. It's very light, but a lot of horsepower. And what that car does is it handles. I mean, you can feel the downforce on the big rear
wing as you're going through the corners, especially here at Chuckwalla Valley Raceway. When the Kumho tires dig into a section we call the bowl, and you get tremendous amount of G's shooting through the car, it just wants to grip and rip. And they've done great things with the handling of the ACR as well as the electronics to keep the rear end in line, and it's tremendously confidence-inspiring. The Kumho tires matched with these Dodge vehicles, it's perfect. As for the Viper ACR, well, those tires are specifically designed for that vehicle, and so it lights up the Dodge Viper. I've been on a lot of different brands of tires in my lifetime, and these Kumho tires, they're shredding.
So for me, the idea today was to really get to the bottom of the transmission and to see how much power I had going in and out of corners and the control with the gearbox to be able to get as much power to the floor with these Kumho tires. I jumped into the Hellcat, put it in automatic and went to play with it. Then started the paddles and I could feel where the car was. Now that car with the 707 horses is very powerful, so it does step out a lot. But the control, once you get the hang of the paddles and you play with the suspension settings, allows you then to be able to deliver that power, but you've got to be very, very gentle on the accelerator. What I loved about the Hellcat was the ease of the performance. Everything's electronic. It's not a race car, it's a road car, but with an extreme amount of power. So the power steering's extremely light. You can feel the suspension, the electronic suspension as well, so you can set it and change it so that it'll actually be a little bit more forgiving in a corner in sport mode. It's in race mode, and you turn traction control off, you can feel everything. But it's a very easy car to drive. So as performance tires go, and I've driven a lot of cars with a lot of different tires on them, I have to say I was extremely impressed today. Kudos to Kumho, I tell you. I was skeptical in a roundabout way about going into a track with these tires. I didn't really know anything about them, but very impressed indeed, especially when we'd spent an hour on the track and we were getting faster and faster and faster and you were seeing where you were going right, where you were going wrong. These tires held up extremely well. You could actually drift in a corner, you could feel them drifting, and I had the Hellcat first out, so they were brand new tires and they had the red smoke on them. So every corner I was coming out of, I was able to just get that back to bite, and then in my rear view mirror, it was all red. It was really cool. I've driven all of the beautiful German cars. I've driven everything. You name it, we can put these tires onto anything.
Chuckwalla Valley Raceway opened in 2010, and I was here pretty much the first week it opened. And when I come to this place, it totally feels like home. And then when I get Julian in an RV and he's lounging out, I'm like, man, I wonder if I could actually just kind of build a home here and just come here often. It was so great to come back to Chuckwalla Valley Raceway. And I have to say that Julian, when he really pinned it, he was gone sometimes. I couldn't even see him out there in the distance. He was really enjoying himself out here.
Today has been an absolute treat. We had a Dodge Viper and a Challenger Hellcat SRT all to ourselves on this track here at Chuckwalla Raceway in California.
During the first go-around, Greg ran the Viper, and I nailed some laps in the Hellcat. The plan was to switch them up on the raceway and compare notes, but Greg had something else in mind, and I'd get my chance in that ACR.
Say that again then, Greg. So where are we going?
Trust me, man, it's gonna be worth it.
Desert Center, California, man, this valley is spectacular. And I figured, hey, we got a good idea how these things act on the track.
But what about the street?
Just enjoy the scenery here in Southern California. This part of the country is spectacular.
You know, the thing is, around here, it's really cool terrain. It's all desert. There's not a lot of corners, but there's some really cool hills. So let's go and see what it's like out there and take these two cars and go play.
When you're inside the cabin of the Hellcat, the supercharger, when it starts to whine and spin up, you know that the power's being delivered to the ground because the supercharger is gobbling all the atmosphere it can grab. The electronics, they have a track mode and a sport mode for stability control, and with paddle shifters, you can be very active with the transmission, man. It's pretty sick. The one thing it does very well is it allows you to get to the limit very easily. Even with the stability control on, it's a rear-wheel drive car. It's got over 700 horsepower. It's very controllable. Dodge has done a great job with the electronics that control the car. It's super fun. I like it.
The track was gnarly. But then when we got out onto the open road as well, those cars came to their own. The Viper, tougher car to drive, race car, full heavy clutch between second and third means that you've really got to work it into each gear. And you've got to blip that throttle to make sure that the cogs are in the right place to allow the gear to be taken when you try and push it to second or third, which the Viper didn't like that sometimes so much. You had to hit the gear right on the nose. Because it's more of a road car, it's actually a race car, was much more readable. And you could really get a little bit more corner speed out of it than you could the Hellcat. Thumbs up to Dodge on this. Two very different cars, both wonderful to drive, especially when you get your private circuit.
Well, it kind of saddens my heart to say that this adventure's coming to a close because it had all the elements I love.
Absolutely. All-you-can-eat pizza from the Pizza Ranch for me was, like, unbelievable.
And I'm a New York pizza kind of guy, and I think this is my new favorite spot. I love it a lot. Then we got in the RVs and drove across country, which I liked. I mean, we could have taken a plane.
Mate, I am totally and utterly sold on those RVs. I'm just going to go all around the country now in an RV. I love it.
I'm going to get you a T-shirt that says, like, RV Monster. I know, you're really digging it. And,
I did.
And it was a great trip. It was a great trip to get us here to Desert Center, California, and Chuckwalla Valley Raceway, where we had this racetrack to ourselves for 2 whole days with 4 amazing vehicles.
We're in heaven again with 2 wheels.
Oh, man,
the Suzuki and the Ducati up against each other. No, admittedly different, very different bikes,
yeah.
But what machines. And the cars. Putting Kumho tires on those and being able to push them to the limits and having such different transmissions I thought was fantastic.
Plus, to explore Desert Center and the valley here and see some of the scenery and just kind of the whole area, it feels really good being here in Southern California, doesn't it?
We're in the middle of nowhere, but you feel there's people around you everywhere you go, and everybody's so friendly, it's wonderful.
All right, 4 great vehicles on a racetrack, right? All to ourselves, totally amazing. Pick one, what's your favorite?
Oh, out of all 4 of them?
Yeah, out of all 4.
I'm gonna go for the Viper.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You like the Viper, huh?
I like the Viper.
What about the Viper did you like?
I loved the downforce and the manual gearbox.
Is that so?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with the GSX-R1000, and the reason I'm gonna go with the GSX-R is because I've done a lot of laps around this racetrack. This place feels like home to me, and I did it a lot on an older model Suzuki GSX-R1000. It is so different. It's so vastly improved. I mean, the handling and all the electronics, it was amazing. I mean, every time I threw a leg over that motorcycle, my heart was pounding out of my chest.
So that's really sweet.
Yeah, isn't it sweet?
That's really good.
Yeah, like you.
Yeah, thank you, sweetie.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do, right? It was an amazing trip. Special thanks to all the folks here at Chuckwalla Valley Raceway, and of course to Kumho Tires, who equipped us with some amazing grip in these cars.
And Suzuki and Ducati, thanks for everybody being involved.
So sad to see this one coming to a close.
Yeah,
but
me too.
That's the way it goes, right?
And remember, it's not just about the destination, it's how you get there.
All right, man, listen, we got a little daylight left. We got the track. Which one do you want?
I'll take the Viper.
Fine.
All right, mate. Let's go
I'll
play.
take the Hellcat. I'm going to drift circles around your noodle, dude.
You try.
No, please.
Chance.